Well, good evening, folks, and welcome to another edition of JT Retro's My Top 5. This is going to be an interesting episode because myself, like everybody else in the world right now, is basically quarantined themselves in their house voluntarily to help stop the spread of the COVID 19, aka coronavirus, from spreading further around the world. Hopefully, isolate this bloody virus and put it in its place. It's been a tumultuous couple of weeks now. Um, really, for the whole world, this is an unknown thing. I believe it's a true test for all of us because how we weather this storm will better prepare us for the next potential pandemic or world disaster, what have you. So, now hopefully maybe I can distract you from the world events and tell you my top 5 things that I have for the coronavirus isolation that I put myself into in my home here. So, my first item that I have during the quarantine is a good book, actually. This is kind of a classic thing. A lot of people don't read hardcover books or paperback books anymore. Uh, Basically, I want to look at this one here, The Tragic Story of the Empress of Ireland. It's a fantastic story. I don't know if many of you know. This has been referred to as the Canadian Titanic. Uh, it was a terrible disaster. A boat basically struck the Empress on the side here, and within about 15 minutes it sunk. Many casualties. Not a happy story to read, but it's very interesting for the historical part of it. Beautiful ship, the Empress of Ireland was. It now lays at the bottom of the St. Lawrence River up near Quebec. I'm a history buff, so something like this, and this is a first edition, so it's old. It dates back close to the actual incident, so it's a great book. I mean, what better way to escape from reality than to travel back in time and learn some historical facts about a very important incident in our history here in Canada. So, yeah, I highly suggest this if you can find it at a thrift store somewhere or an old bookstore. It's a great read, and it's an excellent collector's piece. The next thing that everybody should have when you're in isolation, especially over an unknown period of time, is lots of craft dinner. Macaroni and cheese. And I went with this one. It's called Triple Cheese because the cheesier it is, the better it is. 3 minutes in the microwave, you stir it up with the mixture, and you're good to go. It's quick, it's easy, it keeps my kids entertained and full, and they can do it themselves. The next item, snack. You gotta have a snack, and these here have never changed in a very long time they've been out. They've never changed. I like these. They're not good for me by no means, but I mean, I'm in isolation. I'm here with my son. We're quarantined voluntarily. I don't need to impress anybody, so why not? I'm gonna have a snack. To wash it down, I'm a chocolate milkaholic, and I'm gonna admit this right now. I can drink a liter, no problem. I drink this like water. But you gotta have a good drink to wash down your snack and, of course, your main course with. I highly suggest chocolate milk. Number 4, toilet paper. This took the world by storm. I'm not sure what this has to do with a respiratory illness, but I mean, it could stop the spread of the COVID-19. I'm not sure. Makes a terrible face mask, though. But the hole, I mean, you could put a string around it, I suppose. Last but not least. Anyway, it's just a joke. I'm just trying to make you laugh. I'm going to talk about my top 5 games that I love to play when I have some downtime. What better time to have downtime than right now here while I'm self-quarantining from the public to try and stop the spread of COVID-19. the coronavirus. So when I'm playing games, I like to do it over multi-platforms. I'm fortunate that I have a few different platforms that I can play these games on, and these are in no particular order. I just picked my 5 favorite games that I truly enjoy to revisit each time. So I'm going to start with a Nintendo Wii game. I bought this on day one when it was released. It was an anniversary collection celebrating 20 years. And if anybody's familiar with HAL Laboratories, they know the little pink guy. Kirby has been a fixture with Nintendo for a very long time, dating back to the Game Boy and Kirby's Dream Land and then Dreamland 2. I was fortunate to get a copy of this. It's the 20th anniversary Kirby's collection. The games that are on here are as follows. There's Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy, Kirby's Adventures for the Nintendo Entertainment System, Kirby's Dream Land 2 for the Game Boy, Kirby Superstar, yes, for the Super Nintendo, Kirby's Dream Land 3 for the Super Nintendo, and last but not least, Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. It's an excellent compilation. I mean, a lot of people now are using Virtual Console to download classic games for their Nintendo console, whether it be Nintendo Switch, even the Wii U. It's a fantastic collection. I think a lot of people, if you can find this out there at an electronics store, anywhere, pick it up. It's a great collector's piece. I mean, it comes with some neat 20th anniversary compilation soundtrack CD was included with it, as well as a celebration book with all the art and everything over the years that was designed for each game. It's spectacular, and if you love Kirby, I mean, why not? It's 6 games in one. Got it for an excellent price. It's a must-have if you're a collector for collections. I love collections because you get a lot of bang for your buck. You get multiple games on one CD. It's fantastic. Why not? Going with the collections theme, I also picked this one up. This was not available in stores for sale, but I picked this up. A friend of mine gave it to me once they decided they were leaving where I live here, the town that I live in, and they were moving on, starting over. I was fortunate enough to pick up the GameCube, the Zelda collection for the GameCube. What this contains, and I'm sure a lot of you know, but it's to me it's a must-have if you have a GameCube. It's Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 for the NES, but you can also play the Ocarina of Time from the N64 as well as Majora's Mask. The neat thing is, if you were a Club Nintendo member, you got a copy of this. I didn't. I actually picked this up at a secondhand store, and from a friend, and I was very fortunate that I got it, because to go to a secondhand store is very rare to find these now, and people are keeping them for obvious reasons. It also came with a Wind Waker demo, a 20-minute demo. So it gave you a taste of a new game, but it also gave you some classic games to play all on one disc. So another must-have. This takes up a lot of my hours. I love Zelda. Classic Zelda it never gets old. It's timeless. I'm a Mega Man fan, so I'm going to kind of go with the Mega Man theme. So I'm going to switch over now to the Nintendo DS. Now, this compilation was the original compilation of the Mega Man Zero series. So when this came out, this was only available on the Nintendo DS. This has 01, 02, 03, and 04, all on one card. So it's a fantastic collection. I enjoy playing it. These games are fantastic. It's a continuation several years down the road from the Mega Man X series. I followed Mega Man from the classic series on, so it only made sense for me to pick this one up and continue on. I actually had the Game Boy Advance cartridges, but I sold them because once I got this compilation here, this just seemed to suit my needs, because I have it all in one card. And with the 3DS being backwards compatible, how could you go wrong? So this is an excellent collection too. And I'm going to switch back now to the GameCube for my fourth compilation, because this one here, the controls were a little bit screwy. I know there's been a lot of complaints about how the controls were set up with the jump and the shoot. But to get Mega Man 1 through 8 and then a couple of bonus games on one disc, how could you go wrong? I mean, it's tons of entertainment, several hours of pretty hard gaming, 2D platforming at its best. Capcom, it's legendary. And it's the original series Mega Man collection. Got this from the same friend that I got the Zelda collection from, and I'm so glad that I did get this as well, because I love the GameCube. I love playing games on the GameCube, but I love the games that Capcom made. Every one of them tells a different story, but it all gives you the same element of surprise, but yet familiarity. And the challenge is unbelievable. I found Mega Man 3 quite easy, though. I beat Mega Man 3 on several different platforms, but I still go back to it. It has tons of replay value. I love Mega Man 3. Anyway, excellent compilation. Should have it in your collection. And last but not least, this isn't a compilation, actually, so I sort of lied. But this one's on the Xbox 360. This is a game Capcom was heavily involved in back in the 80s. It was released on the NES, and then a few years ago, they were able to get WayForward involved, did a remastering of the game, had the original voice actors from the series come in and do the voices of the characters, and they created this gem, DuckTales Remastered. I am so happy I was able to get this game. Initially it came out as a digital download, and it was fantastic. It was well received, had rave reviews. The graphics are unbelievable. It's like you're playing the cartoon. And to have Scrooge McDuck, the guy that played him, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, the man was 91 years old. You would never know that he had aged from the time he voiced the character on the cartoon series. This game is fantastic, and it's an absolute must-have. So if you have a Wii U, if you have a PlayStation 3, or if you have this, I think I even seen it on the Google Play Store at one point. It's a must-have. It's a fantastic game. They did it so much justice. It's way better than I had ever imagined it could be, and it's a definite must-have in your collection. So I'm hoping that I gave you somewhat of a distraction from the events in the world that are going on right now. I know we're all scared. We don't know. It's the unknown. Our government leaders are doing the best they can with stimulus packages. Our emergency crews are working around the clock, putting themselves in danger on our behalf. So a big thank you to you guys. This virus pretty much came out of nowhere. Well, we know where it came from, but I mean, it came out of nowhere. Nobody expected this. It's the first of the new year. We're almost into the quarter now, and we're pretty much at a standstill, the whole world. The economy's dropped, but be patient. Worry, but don't worry too much. We will get through this, and we will come out stronger. It's unfortunate that there will be victims with underlying illnesses that may not be able to battle this virus, but if we stay home and quarantine ourselves, we stop the spread. We may not even be contaminated, maybe not. But let's do our part. Let's all play a role and look after this and get the job done. I'm the Real JT. If you like this video, or if you like my channel, please subscribe, like the video, click the bell if you want notifications from our channel, and stay safe, and until next time, stay entertained.